What's up, guys? It is Sam here, and I am with my buddy John. We've been friends for a number of years, and we have some breaking news here around Lending Club, which is the peer-to-peer lending investing platform that's out there. It's one of the bigger names out there, and John and I have actually been friends for a number of years, and we're gonna kind of get into some of those details. So if you want to stay tuned for that, if this is your first time here, what's good? My name is Sam, and for those of you who are returning viewers, you better be pressing that like button. I mean, it's your second time. Like, you should definitely be doing that, right, John? Like, they should definitely be.
Tell your mom. No.
So John, John and I go back about 15 years, and the common thread over the past 15 years is every single conversation inevitably leads to talking about business or investing or money. So John called me earlier today, and the last time we spoke, we had been talking about Lending Club about a month ago. So first, John, can you tell us a little bit about like your experience? Like, how did you get into Lending Club?
Saw it online, read some stuff in Fortune magazine, some other spots, got interested in it. Just started out real light, started with like $1,000, been gradually putting in more year over year, and it's an interesting story. You can lend money to people, $25 at a time. They pay off their credit cards, they start a business, they want to redo their kitchen, or who knows what they want to do with it. Some people even pay tuition with it.
What are like what's some of the have you ever had any really strange like things that you've seen you've funded? Because well, I think you set it up automatically, so they
I
automatically
use
funds.
mobile bank now, so I don't read them anymore. But there was some interesting grammatical errors in some of them. But other than that, no, it's pretty standard. Like, hey, I have all this credit card debt, and I want to get a better interest rate, or I want to start a landscaping business. I need money to buy a lawnmower or something.
So just
Nothing,
to
nothing any weird stories on there.
recap, in case anybody who's not familiar with Lending Club, I can go on there and just create a profile and request to borrow $10,000 and tell some story that I want to like make these pens and sell these pens, and that's what one side of the platform looks like. The other side of the platform is the person like John who goes on there. He puts his money in there and he's like, "Hey, I'll give Sam $100 that he's going to repay me over 3 years at X%." Now, what kind of determines that like percent that because one person is the cost and the other person is the return, and what kind of factors go into that, and how specific did you get?
Lending Club is a pseudo bank. They act as a middleman. They will pull the person's credit report, and so that's really the most important thing. And then they'll assign them a letter grade, A through F. I think it used to be G, and now I think it's D. They only go up to D now. They stopped selling the higher, riskier loans. And every time the borrower makes a payment, Lending Club gets, I think it's 1% share, and then when they pay me or whoever else is lending the money, they also get 1% of that transfer. So that's how they make their money.
And are you comfortable? Like, how much did you put in? Like, was it large? If you don't want to say the dollar amount, what as a percentage of your total portfolio? What did the what does the amount?
Never really get it above 20%. I think that it should be seen as kind of out there for advanced investors because they give you all these facts and figures about invest in this grade, this grade, and this grade, and you'll get this return. This is our projection. Those projections were basically bullshit. They were making it up as they went along because this industry didn't exist. So there were some growing pains. The higher people with worse credit scores, the higher risk, they got rid of those notes. They don't sell them anymore
Oh,
because
really?
they had such high default rates. It used to be A through G, I think, and then they got rid of G, then they got rid of F, then they got rid of B, and those are their letter grades anyways. Those aren't FICO scores or anything. So I'm not sure what score ranges they got rid of, but they just realized the default rates were so high that anything around 30% interest, there still wasn't enough to cover your defaults. So
Because and there's also it's not just the default, but it's the tremendous administrative cost associated with recapturing any of that too.
and they don't really have any because it's unsecured debt. There's nothing they can really do. They can kind of make a complaint and ruin your credit. But I mean, if you're already lending to someone with shitty credit, it's their credit's already shot. So it doesn't. It's not going to force them to pay you back.
So what has been your experience in terms of rate of return? And you said what has been about 5 years now?
It's probably been 5 years. Yeah. When I first started off, I went as risky as I could go. I figured this is a shot in the dark. Who cares? I'll just do it.
And at that moment, I'm sorry to interrupt. At that moment, when you first put it in, you went really risky. You put in how much, and what did like, or what percentage of your portfolio was it at that point?
It was less than 1%.
Okay.
It was.
Okay.
I think to open an account it's $1,000, and the minimum investment each one is 25. So whatever that is. That's
Okay.
how much I bought, and I think I didn't get up over 5,000 the first 3 years, something like that. And right off the bat, I was like, wow, look at all this money I'm making. I'm making 20% return because it gives you this projection of what you're making based on your monthly payments you're getting in. And it was really high. It was really good in the beginning. But as those notes mature, the defaults start. And then it just starts cutting into your rate. And at one point, after, basically all the carnage happened, all these people just said, I don't have to pay this back. This is stupid. They had really high default rates, especially for the higher up loans, which they don't sell anymore. And so mine actually plummeted. It was down at like 0.5%.
Oh, so you went from 20 to 0.5%. What? How quickly? How quickly did that happen, or was it just agonizing like month after month?
Well, I stopped looking at it after a while. But that's the thing. It was just a shot in the dark. I knew this was a super risky. It's never been tried before. So I was willing to lose money. I didn't actually lose money, but it came as close to zero as, you might as well have been zero at that point.
What?
And now it's back up around 3%. I started doing a 50-50 split between A and B notes. And I think that's pretty much my advice to people. Don't go higher than that. Any projection numbers are giving you this platform mix, this kind of basket of notes.
And not that I recommend anything on that John says. First of all, but we don't. What we're talking about is just for opinion. We don't actually recommend you guys do anything without your own fucking.
Financial planner. I cannot make a
No.
legal recommendation.
Like,
This is just my personal recommendation to friends and family.
just use Google, and we're not recommending you do dick. Okay. So John, they're probably wondering like, why do we have this title that banned in New York? Can you talk about what happened over the last about 36 hours or so?
Yeah, so Monday got some emails that I didn't look at, but then I tried to sign into my app. I couldn't get into the app. It was a really weird message in there saying you can't get into this app if you live in New York State, which was weird because I've been using it for 5 years. So I thought that was strange. Went to my emails, and then the first one I got was titled "An Update on Note Availability in Your State."
When did you get this email?
This was Monday.
Okay.
Well, September 23rd, whatever date that was. We wanted to let you know that new lending club notes are temporarily unavailable in your state. We're working diligently to address this matter and apologize for the inconvenience. This won't disrupt the servicing of your notes, blah, 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 but you can't get on the platform. And we appreciate your patience at the end. That was basically it. No specifics. I was freaking out at the time because
They said that you can still get into the platform, or you cannot get into the platform.
you can get into the platform through a web browser, but you can't get in through the app.
So do you normally use it on an app, or do you normally use it on?
I haven't logged into the web, portal in years. I can't remember the last time I was there. So I tried it that night because I was freaking out. I didn't know if my money was available or something. So I went in, I got in. It's very easy. The web platform's still working, but it's just unnerving that you can't get into the app. And I called them, and they were trying to basically talk around the issue, and we're working on it, or it's just not availability. I was like, so did you get banned or did you not get banned in New York State? And he basically said yes at the end. And they had no notice, according to the guy on the phone. He said, we don't know what happened. Just overnight, New York State decided to to ban Lending Club in New York State.
That seems kind of fishy.
So that's what he said, but he's just a phone guy. I'm not sure if he even knows.
I'm super curious to. I mean, when things like this happen, a lot of times there's something much deeper happening that you and I don't actually get to see. Where if this did go through, relatively quickly last minute, it's definitely possible that this, I don't know, it could be, something we don't know about. Like, what's that?
It was very annoying and unnerving, I'm sure, for a lot of people. They can't get into their account. And you got a small amount of money like I do. It's not that big of a deal for your portfolio, but they're large institutional investors put millions and millions of dollars in Lending Club, and all of a sudden, overnight, you can't invest in it anymore. You can only buy secondary notes. That's
So did you look up to see what caused it? And
I cannot find it. This is the weirdest thing. As soon as it happened, I just typed into Google, "Hey, is Lending Club banned in New York?" Nothing. The only thing you can find is a map from Lending Club, and it just says, "Is Lending Club available in my state?"
okay,
And
because yeah, that's
news sites, I looked all over. I can't find anything about. Is it a civil decision? Is it a law that was passed? Nothing. Just no information whatsoever. Strange.
wow, that's fucking interesting. And we don't even know what piece of legislation it is or who put it forward to dig deeper. Because if we had by the way, if anybody knows this legislation or where we could find this information, let us know down below in the comments because this might be interesting to dig in a little bit deeper and see who put forth those candidates that signed that into law in New York and see who is actually giving them money because that might tell a very interesting story about what's going on here, especially if it's last minute.
Regulates them. What agency that would be? Whoever is, telling them, "Hey, you got to turn this stuff off now. Turn all the options off." Because someone had to tell them. But there's been no press releases. There's no governmental notices. Nothing.
So you checked for press releases on Lending Club too, and you couldn't find anything.
Yep.
Wow.
It's
And
just availability in my state. That's the way they phrase it.
wow, that's also
Sent
could.
me another email a couple days ago, and they were saying, "We're really sorry about this. We're working really hard to get you back in, and we'd like to give you an Amazon gift card for your trouble." And so you just click the link and it said, "Okay, wait 30 days, and you're gonna get an Amazon gift card."
For you?
Yep. I don't know how much money it is or what it is, but I thought that was kind of weird. They just realized how they pissed all these people off. Like, "Hey, we'll give you some Amazon stuff for free."
Wow. So this is
Or I don't know.
but if you think about it on a deeper level from a strategic standpoint, that had to be a decision to not put it out there in advance to, I mean, whether they wanted to panic people or not, or because
Perception thing. I don't think they want people hearing a headline that says Lending Club banned or restricted in New York because it makes it seem more extreme and a more risky asset class to be going into. And I think that they just want to tamper it down, fix it in the background, and not have it in the public eye at all. And then, back to business as usual.
so, but you think that trade? Do you think they're actually considering that trade off of like being more putting less information out versus pissing everybody off who's using the platform because I think that's a trade-off between the two, right? Like you don't tell anybody what the fuck's going on and you send out the emails and then you go clearly go to Google and you try to find information and you can't find information anywhere. So you right now are probably feeling a little frustrated with the situation that you're not able to find any information out to go like what's happening.
Yeah, and I think it's just them thinking long term. They want to grow the business. They want more people to not only borrow money, but they also need investors to lend the money essentially. So
Yeah, but isn't that a big, I think that's a big trade-off in a potentially. I don't know if.
I wouldn't do it this way if I was running the business, but I mean that's how they choose to run the business. They don't want to tarnish their brand. They don't want people thinking this is dangerous or shady or however people might perceive it. They just want to worry about the perception right now.
Interesting, interesting. Well, if you guys enjoyed this, John and I are going to be doing different topics every so often, and this is episode number 1. If you have any ideas for topics, let me know down below in the comments. Don't try to find John; he's not around. And you can jump over to my Instagram. Also, shoot me a DM on Instagram to send me any
Nothing.
send me any ideas for video topics or business ideas that you would like us to talk about or cover. And don't forget to press that subscribe button on your way out.